What's going on, everyone on YouTube? I know you guys are all cooped up inside and probably dying for new content. So I figured I'd check in with y'all, see how you're doing. I know these are tough, trying times, and I'm not going to talk much about all that because it should hopefully be over soon. But in the meantime, I'm still trying to keep busy, keep clean, and try and move forward as usual on all the stuff we've got going on here at Hochman Fabrication and Speed. It's been a tough time, trying time. We're just about to go on vacation when this all started breaking out, and I had to put that on hold and refill the schedule for what was anticipated to be just sort of an open calendar until we got back. But that has changed, obviously, and we've got some new projects in the shop, so wanted to tune you guys in on what's going on here. Something small while I'm in the office that I can show you that I just completed yesterday. This customer has a BMW M3, and this is a titanium exhaust off of it. They are apparently notorious for breaking. Most of these manufactured production exhausts that are made out of titanium, they have a tendency to crack in various areas. This one in particular typically cracks at this joint right here on either side of the muffler because there's really not so much supporting it, and it's also doesn't have a flex joint behind it. So what he came in for was to have me reinforce that, and as you can see, I've put a little bit of a reinforcement both above and below, and we've also done that on the other side as well, of course. And while it was here, we also noticed that some of the welds that hold the baffles, the internal baffles in these mufflers in place, there was a hole that had appeared in a crack. So both on the bottom and the top side of this thing needed to get cleaned up and welded in addition to those reinforcement brackets. So that's going to be picked up later today. Nothing too exciting, but I do love working on titanium. It's not something I get to do very often, but it's one of those unique materials that is fun to work with because it's definitely a lot different than anything else. It's nothing like aluminum, and it's nothing like stainless. But aside from that, I wanted to also share with you some other cool things that are happening. So walking into the shop, you can see here I've got another new project. Customer brought this in. If you're not already familiar with this chassis, this is a former Formula SAE car chassis, which was purchased used. My understanding is the chassis itself was used primarily for training purposes. This is one of the vehicles that they were training students in, and they purchased the chassis because these guys they started with karts and are serious about racing karts, and they purchased this and now want to build this into a new project of their own. So they've swapped in a Kawasaki ZX-10R engine and are having me build a manifold for it. Initially, when they brought this thing in, they told me that they just wanted to do an NA manifold, but now it is transformed into wanting to build a turbo kit, which is what we're doing. We've already acquired a turbocharger, and once we get the turbine housing and all that stuff here, I'll finish working on the manifold. But in the meantime, they've been doing a tremendous amount of wiring. I can't release too much detail on this because this is a partnered project with some other brands that I'm not directly involved with. This is something that was brought in to me so that I could do the fabrication end of the work. And I can tell you they're working on getting it wired up for Haltech Elite. And there's some other goodies that I can't really tell you about right now, but another thing they've had me do is weld on a quick release for the steering wheel. Gave me an opportunity to actually test out my welding positioner table. It's the first time I've used it, and I could see me learning how to use that more and more over time, especially for things like this that are small and it's just designed for that purpose. But then I've also got this over here, and this is definitely a unique one. I like getting the older stuff in here because everyone thinks that I just work on imports, and that's definitely not the case. And this one is, you know, an import, but it's not like the DSMs and the Evos that come through here most often. So if you're not familiar with this vehicle and know what it is, I'll tune you in here in a second, but for a little while here, I'm just going to let you guys take a look at it and try and ponder it. So this one was brought in because this one races at Road America, and they're looking for some help on their manifold as well as their exhaust system. So that's primarily what I'm going to be helping with. But if you haven't guessed already what this is, it's right there. This is a 1972 Opel Manta. And this happens to be the only Opel in America that is in existence still racing. So quite a unique application in the shop right now. These guys have been racing it for years, and it definitely shows. You can tell based on how it's equipped that this thing is not a garage queen or a trailer queen at all. So this is definitely going to be a first for me working on an Opel Manta. So that's kind of what I've got going on here at the shop. I hope you guys are all still doing well, staying well, and all you can do is keep yourself busy at this point. Keep positive mindset. I know there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world, a lot of opinions, and quite frankly, I'm staying in tune with it in my personal time as well. You can't help but try and educate yourself on knowing what really is going on and when it's going to end, and if you need to be scared. Just try and keep yourselves busy with automotive things like I am as much as you can. Don't get too distracted with that stuff, because unfortunately there's not much any of us can do but try and be safe. So stay safe, stay well, and for now, that's all I have to share with you from Hochman Fab, but I will definitely be doing my best to keep you guys updated on all these projects as they develop and keep feeding you new content as often as I can. So over and out. Talk to you all soon. Take care.